Alright, here's my solution to siphoning gas out of my boat. I've got that hose off. I take the lid off. Use that as a wedge because that thing was on there very stiff and almost glued on. But anyway, I got it off, and so I got me a Harbor Freight pump bulb because it's all curled. I took some stiff wire and zip tied it on there, hoping that I can direct it towards the low corner. Jack my boat up, got me a level to make sure it's coming this direction. I need to check it one more time. Got it up, got passenger side, well, I guess driver's side of a boat, but up on blocks. And now I got me this old coffee can. Put that in there because, like I said, this tube is so stiff that it's turning things over. It ain't cooperating, so I thought this might help. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'll see what kind of gas. I'm getting 4 beeps as if it's oil or gas. My gas, I've run it down very low, and suspiciously it started beeping, so I think that's probably gonna be the problem. At least I hope. And this also has a water separator and a filter, gas filter on it that I may end up figuring out how to change to. It looks like it's a spin-on, but a little bit more complicated, but I'll figure that out later. Anyway, I'll show you later what this gas looks like. Turns out that's easier said than done. Either that or I got almost no gas in it, but I was able to get that much out, so that should give me a sample. I don't see any water in it, but getting that tube in that corner, I did, and I finally got some gas pumping, and it was coming. Turns out this wasn't long enough to make it to the ground, so that didn't help, but it took me a few minutes to get any gas, and then it got me this much before it quit. So I might get me a what they call a witness stick and put down there and see how deep it is. Well, I'm supposed to get hillbilly with it. I don't know if that shows up or not, but it's about maybe 1 knuckle deep. So I'm gonna get hillbilly with it. And I'm gonna do the siphoning like we were all taught when I was young, and I'll see what I get out of the bottom. Alright, I got gas coming. This came out of an old refrigerator, this old stiff PVC line, I guess. It's working. I was able to cut it long enough, and it's stiff enough. So for this particular job, I think I'd recommend this stuff, at least for the short minute. I don't know if it'll dissolve or not, but I don't think it is. It don't seem like it's having a problem, but we'll see. I'm gonna let it sit there. I'm holding it because I got it stiff and in that corner. I doubt I'll get every bit of it because I'd imagine the volume of this line will go back in there when it quits siphoning. It's still coming. Kind of hoping it's at least 5 gallons. By the way, this tank is 45 gallons, and so if it's an inch deep, you know, that's still probably a gallon anyway, possibly 2. So I don't know how much gas it's going to be. It was showing us like a 1/16 of a tank, and matter of fact, I don't know how deep the plunger goes, but it was moving a lot, so it tells me it was sloshing. It wasn't a whole lot of gas in it. But it still may be 5 gallons. I don't know. And I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this gasoline. I do got a mole that I would like to burn his eyes, but I won't be that mean. I'd rather just kill him quickly. What's in the it's in the coffee can. I don't know, I could try to use it, but I don't know. I mean, it'll be about 1 gallon, I guess. I could throw in my truck. Nah, I don't think I'll do that either. I'll call around and see where to recycle this stuff at. Uh-oh, I see some bubbles. Oh, it's done. Well, alright. So, I'm going to say between this and my first run, I doubt it got up to the top combined. Actually, I know it don't. It's about a pint more. So, about 1 inch more in there. So that's how much. Evidently, when we get down to almost nothing, unless it's trapped. See how the shape of it is? You know, it could be some trapped over there. I don't know. I doubt it, because in the beginning, when I had this on the hitch, it was pointing forward a little bit, I think. So, I don't know. I may have to get me another little something to, like a witness hold, or a witness. I might cut another piece of this and stick down in there a dry piece and see what it does. So I dried it off and stuck it back in there, and it's probably a 1/2 inch, and it's in the corner, so it's not a lot at all. I think when I fill that tank, I'll probably put, like I said, it's a 45 gallon tank. Where I fish, I won't use 50 gallons in a whole summer, because I'm on the trolling motor more than anything. If you're riding, you ain't fishing, right? So yeah, I don't know, I might just put 10 gallons in there, let it run through with the 4 beeps. If that's, see, now what I understand it, the 4 beeps is not a critical system, it just needs to be looked at. And if that don't solve it, then according to what I've read, it'd be an oil issue. And I did look at the oil reservoir, it ain't low. So it should have been at least a little low if it's not pumping right. And because it's not a steady beep, it's not critical, so I think it's suspiciously that I had the gas very low that the beeps came on. So I'm really leaning towards the gas, and maybe it's just sensing that I was low on gas. Maybe there's a beep for low on gas. I don't know. We'll see. Well, this is heartbreaking because I don't like losing a glass jar. But I guess this was for the better good. So that's how much I got out of there, plus that 1 more pint. And I might as well put together, I suppose. And I'm gonna let it sit all day and come back, and I'll put a lid on it and see. But you know, honestly, the gas don't look cloudy or nothing. Just kind of a background on this is it's not been hardly driven at all in 5 years due to some health issues, and I drove it once last year and once the year before, and that's about it. and so I knew this gas needed to be changed, but it wouldn't give me any spits or sputters. It's a 150 horse Optimax 2006 version, so I guess it was doing pretty good, and the gas wasn't horrible. And who knows, I may have thrown a little bit extra gas in there, I don't remember, just to freshen it up. It does sound like something I'd do. So I think, seeing how this is all the gas that was in it, I'm starting to think that that's the problem with the beeps, is I need some gas. So I will go fill, I'll probably get about 20 gallons in there. It's a 45 gallon tank, so 20 gallons seems like a lot. Thing uses gas though, so quarter tank would be 10 gallons, so half a tank. Yeah, I might put a half tank in there. Alright, I'll may or may not make another video depending on what happens. So I just remembered I had bought some gas for my lawnmower, so I poured that pickle jar, poured that in the half-gallon jar, and there's a big difference. You remember that other gas was orange. Matter of fact, I may do a side-by-side picture. But anyway, so definitely that gas needed to change. And after I run the rest of that through the motor, it'll probably be fine. Well, alright. This is about 4 hours. I'm just letting it sit there, so I don't see any water. Or at least I couldn't get any out of it. So, out of the boat tank. That gas is obviously stale, old. But in truth, I might be able to throw it in my lawnmower. I don't know. My lawnmower is carbureted, so it's probably not a good idea the more I think about that. So call around, see if I can find a place that will let me recycle it.